absolutely adore my stepchildren, but now my husband is ruining everything.
Get rid of your husband.
Get rid of your husband. Ruin the life.
Take his children.
Yeah. Would I be the a-hole if I asked my stepkids to move out? My husband, 40 male, and I, 34 female, have been married for 4 years. I came into my stepdaughter, 16 female's life when she was about 10 years old. Both her and my stepson, now 12 male, were somewhat neglected and had behavioral issues when I met them. My husband and his ex aren't bad parents, but he travels a lot for work, and she is a bit flighty and self-indulgent. My stepdaughter and I hit it off real well, and I love both of my stepkids. By the way, this comes from Thrabluda on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So we all co-parented well, with me taking on a more active role in their school and other stuff. Both husband and his ex-wife were satisfied with me doing the grunt work for the kids.
I love it. Opie's like, yeah, we all co-parented well, with me being the parent and them not.
They're not bad parents. They just don't parent.
That's it. It's
right?
very simple. I
Yeah.
am parent and they stand there.
It's so good. OP, maybe not.
Maybe reevaluate.
They both travel a lot, and I became the sole parent who was fully engaged.
I don't
proving
think
our
you
point.
I don't think you co-parent well. I'm gonna be so honest.
True. I own a 3-bedroom house that I had inherited from my parents and husband, and kids moved in to live with me. So not only are you the full-time parent, you are
housing them.
the housing, you're everything.
Oh my gosh.
The kids love their rooms in our home and their lives in our town. The custody arrangement they have on paper is 50-50, but their mom doesn't have as much space, surprise, surprise, as I do. So the kids are here almost full time.
It sounds like neither of these parents wanted their kids, and so they found a willing parent and then conned her into parenting their kids.
Conspiracy theory, just to literally regurgitate your great theory that you just said. Did they conspire?
I can be a chef.
Be a chef. Here, be a chef, Sophia. Let's cook up some theories.
Let's cook up a theory.
Ha! Yeah, did they literally get together and say, you know what, why don't you go find a partner? I'm not gonna be mad, it's all cool, because we're gonna give them all the work, but I'll one-up you so we can go off and get down and dirty.
Busy.
With the spicy sleep.
Busy.
They divorced so they could get busy.
That's kind of like the Doofenshmirtz and his wife. Well, actually, only in the alternate universe. They got divorced for I don't know.
We got to stick to the canon, Sophia. We can't go in multiple universes, but we'll get back to our universe and reality and see if our crazy conspiracy theory is true. So, a few months ago, I came back from an overnight school field trip with my stepson to a very distraught stepdaughter. She found her parents...
You were right! We were right!
Okay, I gotta read it. Well, forehead alert. Also, Sophia, could you angle that one? Yeah, just a little. Oh, dude, that. Yeah. Say. Anyways, so Sophia ran ahead, but ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. She found her parents together in my bedroom and was upset about the cheating.
Unbelievable.
They weren't sewing. They weren't making mac and cheese. But I don't even have to say it.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounded like. Riley said it for me. I can't believe. I was joking. I was truly joking.
Well, I was joking.
Why didn't they stay married and hire
a nanny?
If you hire a nanny, you don't get a free house. Of course, Sophia.
Yeah, and also you have to pay a nanny for childcare.
Dude,
you get free
labor
childcare and free house. Why aren't people doing this? New
people,
hack.
People are going to start doing this. Is too bad. Oh my, no. I was devastated to hear this from her. And after some sleuthing, I found out that their affair had been going on for months and possibly a whole year.
Oh my goodness.
I've been trying to get pregnant for the past 2 years, and we were having very frequent spicy sleep, and realizing that my husband was sleeping with us back to back was especially nauseating for me.
That's, messed up.
So I filed for divorce.
Woo! Opie's quick with it.
Opie's quick with it. And I've asked him to leave. He doesn't want this marriage to end and seems somehow convinced that I'll change my mind. But he agreed to a separation and has moved out to an apartment. Now, my stepdaughter was mad at both her parents and wants to continue living with me.
That's complicated.
It's complicated.
Ooh.
Do you think OP, real quick, should
Well,
do it?
legally, can she? She's not, I don't think she's adopted either of these kids, so I don't know if she can legally house them.
If if you guys got to, sleep around you together, I just get to take the kid.
Those are the rules.
Deal?
Yeah, you don't even want those kids.
And then the divorce is easy.
Yeah.
That's leverage.
Yeah. I think that's what you do.
I guess she already has the house and all the money, so what could even, but.
Take everything. Take their kids.
Take them. I like it. Neither of them are taking any steps to move out the kids who are still living in their rooms and living their lives as if this family hasn't imploded. I'd have been happy with having the kids with me, but my problem is that both my husband and my kids' mom feel at liberty to come into my house whenever they feel like it because their kids are here. She feels no guilt about the cheating and acts as if I am the interloper. She treats me like I am their nanny, expecting me to continue taking care of things for the kids and leaving me with instructions and criticisms. Oh, sweetheart.
OP, you do not have a responsibility to these kids.
Can we sue the parents? Can we put them in? Can we do what can we do? Can we build a jail to put them in, please? Can we figure this out? Oh my God.
Something.
Meanwhile, my ex frequently drops by under the guise of seeing the kids, but keeps trying to cajole me into letting him move back in. Now, I love my stepdaughter and I don't want to do anything to hurt her further, but I can't take living like this. The amount of hurt and anger I feel towards my husband and his ex-wife is too much, and it's painful to have to keep dealing with them. The absolute cheek of them to treat me like this is making my head explode. Even, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Say the joke in your mind. Say the joke in your minds. But I don't know what to do about the kids. Everyone in my life is expecting me to just it up and do what's best for the kids. I love them, but this is becoming unbearable. We have some comments, but I have to really quickly check in with the woman who is more certified than any therapist or psychiatrist on planet Earth or the space-time continuum, and that is Sophia freaking Donner.
That's me. John, have I got some thoughts?
Oh, do tell.
One or two.
Do tell.
One, I think while OP loves these children, clearly, they, at the end of the day, are not her responsibility. Like, they aren't her children legally or biologically in any way. And I think that she kind of needs to do what's best for herself. Like, obviously, it would for the kids, but I think maybe if it gets to a certain point where she just like cannot handle the parents trying to insert themselves in her life, maybe it's talking to the kids and saying, hey, like, I'll always be there for you.
Yeah. If
you want to ever come over and see me, you're always welcome, but you can't live here.
Yeah. But what if she wants the kids? What if she's like...
Yeah, and then it's the other option of does she want the kids? And then I don't know if she has any legal, like, I don't know how you would legally adopt the kids.
I guess,
you couldn't really do that because both the parents aren't, I don't think they're willing to give up their parental rights.
Well,
and
what
so
about...
she would kind of have to deal with them coming in to her house.
I feel like she could maybe suggest... I have to imagine you could get some sort of agreement, I don't know, certified by a court or something like that, where it's like, hey, you travel all the time and you clearly want to be together. I don't know why they got divorced, but you clearly want to like be at least like hooking up or whatever. Could we find an agreement where like I basically have the kids and you get out of my life, except on times that maybe you want to take the kids out, you come for a weekend, I bring you the kids, or like I don't really have to like see or interact with you, and it's like very strict boundaries.
Well, yeah, maybe the solution is you say to them, either your kids move out and you take them, or if you want me to take care of them, can't come into the house.
Yes.
And we have some sort of custody agreement, but you can't come into my house.
Yes, I think it's that. Because I do think OP might actually want to like be their full-time guardian.
Yeah, it seems like she's grown really attached to the kids. But yeah, I do think at the end of the day, if it gets to a point where it's either, the kids leave or you still have the ex like inserting himself, then I think the kids would have to leave.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But we could both be wrong.
Oh.
Let's see what the comments have to say about it. Oh, Crumb Cake says, not the a-hole. If the kids live with you, then you should be getting child support from both parents.
True.
That too. And they're freaking jet setting all around the world. They should be sending you tons of money. It's sad that you will lose contact with two kids you've grown to love, but your own mental health comes first, and you shouldn't have to deal with your cheating ex and his affair partner. Deleted says, this is so tricky. Not the a-hole. Meet with a lawyer to figure out your options with the kids, but it's probably not going to be great since you want to go no contact with the parents. To that point, meet with a lawyer first. See what that is. Explain your feelings in the situation to your stepdaughter, and she can always visit, but that her parents are no longer welcome in your home.
Which is what I said.
True. She seems most worried that you won't be in her life. Rihanna Mercada says, as much as you love and care for your stepkids, you say that you, quote unquote, can't take living like this. Good point. And that is perfectly normal and acceptable. This situation is not your problem anymore. Your husband cheated on you. You're divorcing. They are his children. They go with him. The kids are old enough to decide if they want to continue to have contact with you, but you are not their biological parent, and it is up to the parents to house and provide for those children. Everybody moves out of your house when the dust settles, and when the dust settles, have a discussion with the biological parents about letting the kids visit you from time to time. Be the fun parent. That's basically the option you gave, but I kind of like that framing where it's like after everything is done, kind of do option number 1, and then option number 2 is like, hey, I just want to be fun parent and just get all the good stuff, And the overall judgment was not the a-hole, so I have to ask, Sophia, is OP the a-hole?
I don't think OP's done anything remotely a-hole-ish at all.
Oh,
this is an angel.
The only thing she did wrong was love too hard.
The only mistake that she made was not seeing the obvious red flag in a man who neglects his children.
That is true. And that's not an a-hole move, but it is a red flag,
it's just
though.
Red flag. No, if I were getting into a relationship with a person who had kids and I was like, oh, they don't care about their kids, I'd be like, that's concerning.
That's you.
That's you.
Red flag, sir. But we have an update 16 days later.
Man, oh man.
We could be divorced by now.
Hot off the presses.
Hot off the freaking
They could be divorced and finalize their divorce in 16 days.
Crazier things that happen on the show.
They could have a really good lawyer.
And it could have been just like, I take the kids.
How fast can a divorce processing be?
Tell us, chat. Tell us comments.
What's the record?
What's the record? And what's the fastest divorce you've seen? Maybe like secondhand or you. I'm curious. Please comment below. But we're going to get into update 16 days later. I tried submitting an update to Am I the A-hole, and that didn't go through. I am posting the update here because I'd like some support and suggestions, and you have been so helpful in the last post. I read all the comments, but things blew up in my face soon after, and I was offline for a while. Following the advice given, I talked with different lawyers to see what I could do for the situation. What I found out wasn't very promising, and the lawyer retainer fee for a custody fight is too high, which makes a lot of sense. With the separation, my money situation is pretty tight and I couldn't afford to chase these issues legally. I've been stressed and working late these days. The day after I made the post, I was going to be late at home and had asked stepdaughter to reheat the frozen lasagna that I had made for dinner. When I arrived home, it was to both the kids having a meal with the ex and mom. They're having a family dinner at OP's house eating OP's lasagna. Sophia, if certain unnamed unsavory individuals came to your house, heated up your lasagna with Sam, how angry are you?
Okay. Soup. We're doing soup in this case. You love soup.
Okay, wait. Who is the unsavory individual? Just any unsavory individual?
Think of an unsavory individual.
I've got one.
Go.
That one. Okay.
How do you feel? Yes, that one.
They're with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why are you with Sam? I asked Sam, like, why did you invite them over?
What about unsavory individual?
Well, I'm like, why is he even here?
Yeah.
And then they're eating my soup.
They're eating your soup.
I'm throwing hands.
Ooh.
No, I'm not. But I would go in my room. I'd say, okay.
That'd be sad. That is so accurate, though. I love the honesty.
I would be like, oh, hey, guys. And they'd be like, oh, do you want soup? I'd be like, no.
Yeah, you'd be like,
it's fine. You guys can eat my soup. It's fine.
Oh,
yeah,
that just made me sad just envisioning it. You're so good at like portraying, and you became the character, and I'm like, wow, I'm living in this world with a sad, soupless Sophia. Anyways, let's get back to this sad world. Yeah. So when I arrived home, it was both the kids having a meal with the ex and their mom. Mom had decided to turn it into a family dinner and set out the food I made on my formal dining table with my nice dishes.
No.
She had created a pretty family moment with her and ex under my roof.
They're trying to steal your house.
They're
squatting in your house.
Oh! I completely lost it at that point. I regret to say that I behaved abominably, screaming at her and my ex, and I told them to get the heck out of my house. This happened in front of stepson, who was pretty shocked. So far, I had kept him out of most of this mess. After my breakdown, I needed some time away, so I drove out to spend the weekend with my cousin. Stepdaughter wanted to come with me, and we left stepson with his dad. Stepdaughter was so sweet to me and very understanding of why I was upset. She hadn't invited her parents. Her mom had shown up, and then she invited ex for dinner. Stepdaughter hadn't anticipated that I'd get this upset. Frankly, I'm surprised too that I blew up like that. That's not the typical me. Well, OP, that would drive anyone
To the brink.
freaking bonkers.
Yeah.
After we got back, I let mom know that she shouldn't come over anymore, and if she did, then I will report her for trespassing.
Yes.
As Sassy Sin says, call the cops.
Buttercups.
Let them deal with it. Mom didn't believe me and showed up to talk. And I lost it at her again. And this time I did call the cops. Let's freaking go. They nicely asked her to leave, and she did. Stepson was very upset at me for doing this. Mom showed up again the next day.
Girl, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Like, you can't cheat and be dumb too, you know?
Oh, my mind is blown, Riley.
I'm frankly bamboozled.
My flabbers are completely gasted. So she showed up the next day acting all sweet and telling me that I'm being unreasonable. And I bet she's doing it like, so look, you're just being unreasonable, you know?
Like I brought you a lasagna.
I brought you a lasagna. Oh, wait, it was your lasagna, but I heated it up and I set it up all nice for us to eat it.
I put your lasagna into a smaller container so it looks like I made it.
I packaged it up.
And packaged it up real nice.
No, you cretin. Go back from the slithery cold depths from which you slithered out of.
Bottom of the ocean.
The bottom of the ocean. The Marianas Trench is not deep enough. So, unfortunately, I became pretty unhinged at this and swore and yelled at her. Stepson shoved me and screamed at me to shut up. I fell on my butt and was shocked into silence. Mom was pretty surprised too and left immediately, whereas stepson ran and locked himself into his room. He called his dad to come and get him, but he was out of town and mom ignored his calls.
This is so sad.
Dude, and like,
it's so sad because I understand why, like, the stepson is seeing not his mom, but an adult he cares about scream at his mom, and it probably is feeling defensive and wants to leave because he wants to be with his parents, and he can't. His parents aren't there for him. They're
he's just figuring out about this. I forget his age, but he's probably young. And
10 or 12, I think.
Yeah, and stepdaughter was the one who saw it, so
Yeah.
she's, you know.
And he's just kind of learning about all this.
He's
stuff.
just learning. He's
Yeah.
probably still processing.
Yeah.
My God. Stepson is a very loving kid, so his reaction was heartbreaking. I understand where he's coming from, though. Mom is his mother, after all. Mom is also a very pretty person who comes across as very sweet and delicate. She's a type of woman people jump to help. It is natural that stepson would feel protective of her, and I hadn't expected that he'd turn on me, though. The rest of the week was bad, with stepson angry at me and refusing to talk. When his dad got back in town, he came and got him. Stepson told him he didn't want to live with me anymore. A few days later, ex wanted me to take back stepson. God, she's still trying to schlep it. But the kid didn't want to come back. I told ex I will not force him, and ex got pretty mad at me.
This is terrible.
I can't. He wanted me to fix the situation somehow. When I refused to make stepson stay with me, ex became pretty mean. He said a lot of ugly things, the worst being that he's relieved that I didn't get pregnant because I would make an awful mother.
My guy, she's already parenting your kids.
She is a million times the parent you will ever be.
Pot meat kettle? You're not even there. You're not even in their lives.
That's right. Ain't no kettles, no pots.
No pot.
Nothing. You're just freaking in unexisting molecules. That's what you are, sir. Thanks, Riley. Oh, MJ Grow says, call CPS. Poll. Do we call CPS? Call CPS or not? What do you think, Sophia?
I wonder. I mean, like, I just don't know what the legality of that is.
Also, does that potentially, do they even get in the system for like a few days or something? I'd be maybe worried about that. I don't know.
Because best case scenario, you call CPS, they're in the system, and then you're like, hey, I have looked over them for a long time. Can I take care of them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, then they're in your hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just need to like start texting, getting all of this in writing, and get documents, get receipts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, don't do calls anymore. Just say, if you want to talk to me, text me, and then so you have all of this proof.
That's smart. That'll help you do anything that you need to do. But OP says, I was afraid of things turning out this way, but I've got ex and mom out of my house, and that is a relief. Stepdaughter is going to live with me until she moves out to college. Okay, she's like way older.
Yeah.
Ex is
She's 16.
Yes, true. Ex is struggling to find childcare for stepson and is angry at me that I think he'll not slow down the divorce anymore. I want to fix this with stepson, but a big selfish part of me is afraid to do anything that'll bring his parents back into my life. That's not a selfish part of you. That is protecting
a very reasonable part of you.
Yes, so reasonable. OP is giving big people pleaser vibes.
Yeah.
In some areas. I really don't understand mother's actions and motivations in all this. She wanted to sleep with X, and I had walked out of the picture, and it was all hers. If she wanted her kids, it wasn't like there was anything I could do about that. If she didn't want her kids, I was already taking care of them, but she kept violating my boundaries with a smile on her face and be all surprised that I'm not happy about this. Right now, neither her nor X want to be the daily parent to stepson, but he's angry at me enough that he doesn't want to choose me as the parent. I feel so crushed about that. And we have some relevant comments on that. So from Burning Duchess, I am so sorry that you're going through all of this. I do think it's for the best that stepson isn't staying with you anymore. And I think it'd be healthy for you to take a step back from them as a family during the divorce proceedings.
I think so.
I concur with that.
Yeah.
You've parented their children more than they have, but unfortunately at the end of the day, they are still theirs. So with stepson being younger, it's best that you give them some room. I second the question of how old stepdaughter is. Also, you should both think about how her staying with you will affect her college options. Are her parents paying for it? Will they withdraw their support if they maintain your side over theirs? As much as you love her, you should also ensure that these children don't become your responsibility or that their parents could claim that you are alienating her from them during the process. Change the locks at your place for sure, though. And if stepdaughter is to be staying with you, please make sure she understands that they are not welcome. I'd recommend if she wants to see them, it should be at a neutral place if she's not up to going to theirs. But if she's too young for that, then maybe she should be going to her father's, even if it's not what she would prefer. You have to put yourself as a priority right now and stop letting them control and manipulate the situation. Everyone is going to get a little hurt and it will but you will get through this. Quick gut check. Comments, chat, and Sophia, do you think that is a reasonable take?
I think that's a very reasonable take. I think it's saying like, yeah, you might want to keep them in your lives, but at the end of the day, it might not be what's best for them or you.
Yeah, it's almost like, what do you want versus what do you need? You might want to, stay in the stepdaughter's life and, you love living together, but at the end of the day, it might so massively overcomplicate it that it's actually just worse for all parties involved.
Yeah.
Phantom's Manor says, I think the best thing you can do is to let stepdaughter talk to stepson, get some time for yourself, and maybe put the kids in counseling. Being how young he is, he might not realize how messed up the situation is. On top of his parents' divorce, he and his sister were neglected by both of them and is now going through another divorce. That's true. And the fact that they had the audacity to have a family dinner and using your possessions kind of feels like they're up to both stepdaughter and stepson into the life that they had before, only they don't want to do the work. They want to use you as their babysitter. If it weren't for this, I would have thought they're trying to ruin his perception of you because in his point of view, you initiated the divorce because his parents want to get back together. You yelled at them and generally being a bad person to his mom in his eyes, to the stepson's eyes. Just to be clear, you aren't a bad person at all and you have the right to be mad at both of them, certainly better than the both of them. And OP responds to that. I keep thinking about the dinner and I am so weirded out. Nobody's poor here. Doing a family dinner isn't a hardship for anyone. Yeah, cooking one dish of lasagna is not going to break the bank for these people. Doing this in your own home or go to a restaurant, do anything, but why do it in your home? That just blows my mind.
Yeah. No, it's because they're trying to insert themselves into everything that you have.
I also think mom gets a kind of sick, twisted pleasure out of torturing
so.
OP.
Yeah.
Like low key. The came in all sweet and smiling. It's giving like, oh, she has this facade of being like, oh, I'm so sweet and but she's really evil. What were you guys thinking? Stepdaughter is being great with me, but she's emotionally shut herself off from her family. She only calls her dad for money and she doesn't talk to her mom at all, which isn't healthy either, but I don't know what to do about that now. She's ambitious and working hard for school and I am proud of her for that. My parents passed away a decade ago, but my aunt is nearby. An ex complained to her about me. God, I got lectured by her about how I should do better by my stepkids. Don't side with them.
The thing is that at the end of the day, they aren't your stepkids anymore.
They're not.
They're not your stepkids anymore.
Jeez, dude.
And anyone who's saying that you're not, stepping up enough for your stepkids is wrong.
Call the cops on Auntie. Lock her
Lock
up,
her
throw away the
up.
keys. I hate that he's bad-mouthing me to the few people I have left in my life. And we have an update 17 days later. So we're now...
One day after. Was it 17 days after the first 16 days?
I think it
or
was-
just
yeah,
one
yeah.
day?
It's so basically a month since the original post.
Okay.
A month out. We could now officially be divorced. I'm still holding to that. Comments, you can flame me if you want. Go ahead, but I don't know. We'll see. Nothing of consequence has happened on the legal front since my last post, so I'm wrong. Okay, go ahead. Flame me. Go ahead. Have fun.
Cast him into the fire.
Emotionally, it has been lots of ups and downs. A lot of people message me suggesting that I should let stepdaughter go, and it's not healthy to have her staying with me. That may be so on paper, but it's not something I want to do. I met ex a few years after my parents passed away. I was very close to them, and they passed away one after the other. I suffered a lot from depression from grieving. My boyfriend at the time dumped me, and I had lost a lot of friends. Who are these people? When we started dating, I was coming out of my sadness, but was still very lonely. Stepdaughter and I became each other's supports very quickly. She felt neglected by her parents and had resentment towards them, and I suppose she loved the attention I gave her. I found her to be a loving kid, and I liked bonding with her. Stepson and I were close too. While he loved his mom, I did kind of assume that he was closer to me. One of the resentments that stepdaughter held against her parents was that they were uninterested and dismissive of her extracurriculars that led to her failing in some activities that she was very passionate about. She's into a sport I was familiar with, and I spent a lot of time training with her. The old niche sport. Niche sport.
Insert niche sport.
Insert sport here. I
I'm
used to
familiar.
I used to do it all the time. I was varsity in
toe wrestling.
you know, but I, my knee.
Couldn't do it with the
You
knee
know,
injury.
I couldn't go. I would have gone
You
pro.
almost went to state.
That would have been pro. Oh, God. So I spent a lot of time training with her and took her to events and classes for it. She is very good at it now, and it's going to be a source of scholarships for her and possibly going to get her into college that she is interested
Little
in.
D1 school.
Ooh, is it insert niche school?
Insert niche school. Yeah. For D1 athletics.
It's the insert Ivy institution of insert location.
Insert sport.
She's hardworking and ambitious, and I want to support her as much as I can. She has promised to keep her parents out of our home, and I hope she sticks with that till she leaves for college. X has been very angry and ranting at me in messages. I have stopped answering his calls, and I do not reply to emails. I've told him the only subject I will discuss with him is divorce, and only through my lawyer. So he's been bad-mouthing me to a lot of mutual acquaintances. Can we use this into divorce somehow, please?
I mean, you're getting all those texts now and emails.
Something.
You got to be able to. I mean, like you have cheating. You've got all the emailing. You're taking care of his kids. That's got to help in the divorce.
Please let it help in the divorce. A couple of people have gently chided me for abandoning stepson.
Why are people chiding you?
Divorce everyone in your life.
This is ridiculous. That's not, at the end of the day, that's not your son. You have no responsibility to him. Yes, you're being a freaking angel by wanting to take responsibility, but you
Yes.
have no responsibility for him.
These people, I wonder if they know, I wonder if OP's just hidden the fact that he cheated, because
Yeah.
OP has not said that. That is my
Possibly.
current suspicion. One went so far as to say that women who become stepmoms should know what they are signing up for, and a real mother wouldn't leave her children.
Are you talking to the freaking devil?
Why don't you tell that to their literal real mom?
Yeah.
Their bio mom who's freaking flying all over the world.
I don't understand.
Not parenting them, okay? I am not good with conflict and haven't been able to respond properly. I've pretty much isolated myself from these people, so I don't have to listen to comments like these. Mom is still blocked by me, and she hasn't made any efforts to communicate with me, and that's been a huge relief. A week after the last post, sister-in-law came down to see me. She lives about 3 hours away, so I was pretty apprehensive that she was going to drive down all the way over here to talk to me. If it's anything like anyone else in her life, I do not have good hopes for this conversation.
Yeah. If it's going the way that the whole post has been going, it's going downhill.
The whole town is just like, why don't you care for your children?
It's like, I
Next thing you know, the whole town is just eating her lasagna.
Yeah.
Like,
they're all in her house and they're like, wow, OP, not caring for your children, eating her lasagna.
not cool. So I asked to meet her in a restaurant, to which she agreed. I was also worried about talking to her because while she's been polite and nice with me, she still was and is mom's friend and ex's brother. She told me that ex had urged her to talk to me about stepson, and she completely disagrees with him about that, okay? She said that I've been a great stepmom to stepson, but he's not my responsibility.
There we go. Wait,
There we
who's
go.
this?
The sister-in-law.
Oh,
Right?
My goodness. At least
Who'da thunk it?
we finally have a person who's on your side.
Woo! Even your own freaking friends didn't say this.
Yeah. Your mom didn't say this.
Come on, your mom. Ex was honest with her about his affair, and she supports me getting divorced. Again, thank God. She said a lot of supportive things to me about moving on and looking after myself, and also thanked me for taking care of stepdaughter still. That was nice, but then she went on to add that she wasn't surprised about the affair at all. You see, she was surprised that ex married me.
Ooh.
She was like, you should have seen this coming. Though she didn't come out and say it, the insinuation was that mom is so much better than me. She's prettier, more successful, more charming. An ex would jump at the chance to be with her.
I'm sorry. I thought she was on your side. She's another op?
Hope he can't catch a break.
Unbelievable.
Truly not.
Also, have you guys ever seen a couple get together and you look at one partner and you're like, yeah, they're definitely going to cheat on them?
No, I've never thought that.
I haven't, thank God.
Okay.
Sometimes I look at people and I'm like, wow, you know?
Oh yeah, just like
I don't go, oh, they're gonna cheat, but I'm like, oh.
and now
This one chick from high school got engaged, and she got engaged to a guy that like was not on her level, and I'm like, that's gonna be a tough one, buddy.
is that great value, Riley?
No, not that one.
Okay,
She's not like that. This one's the one from middle school. Yeah.
I think I know,
Okay.
but you'll
That
never
one's
know.
crazy. That one's like so crazy. I would love to tell that story.
Ooh, maybe you could slip it in anonymously and
Yeah.
Okay, I can do
Yeah.
that. Oh, dude, I'll do it right now. Well, I'll like slip it in, like I'll like type it up in a Reddit post and then submit it, and then.
I thought you were talking about the lies that you've been.
Oh no, I won't prank you today, John.
Well,
This would be so much harder to prank you on the phone. I can't control the phone.
Oh,
So you're
right,
safe.
Right,
You're safe.
Right. Okay, story time after this episode. We'll catch Sophia up to speed on
Okay.
what happened. So stick around to the end. So the sister-in-law was saying like, I'm surprised that he married you. Mom is so much better, right?
You're freaking ugly.
Mhm. You're freaking ugly.
She's like, no, I'm on your side. I think you should divorce. You're just not on his level.
I'm here for you because you're so ugly and I feel for you, okay?
I feel really bad for you.
That was just great to hear. Peachy. Though it's easy for me to accept now that I am not the smart one here because I didn't see it coming at all. I was happy and in love with my family. The upside to that meeting is that X has stopped harassing me. I haven't heard anything from him since, and I think that he has stopped talking about me to others too. I don't have anything on stepson yet, though stepdaughter told me he's all right and waiting for summer vacation to start. A few of you have said that mom might have been interested in taking my house. I don't think so. She does all right by herself and has a good career. She has a rather spendy lifestyle and lives in a very fancy 2-bedroom apartment in the city, while my house is in a child-friendly but stad suburb. I guess quiet. I hope things continue to be quiet because I need to get my head straight, focus on work, or I might get fired. God, hope he doesn't need more. The boss is
another
like,
thing.
I heard that you're abandoning your children. Fired.
You can't work here anymore.
We only take good mothers at this company. And my job is the one thing I have going for me right now. And we do have some comments. So No Tangerine 3320 says, OP, don't let sister-in-law's insinuations get to you. Your ex and mother got back together because crappy people will always gravitate towards others like them. Still doesn't mean they'll be happy. They'll run themselves around the same cycle they did previously, which is get together, think they're in love, break up, get back together, all while their relationship is devoid of any true love or compassion for one another. I'm honestly happy to hear that you really love and care for stepdaughter. In this situation, you seem to be the only source of love and good parenting that this child needs. Stepson might come around eventually, but don't force anything. He'll come to you when he's ready. I hope you can move on from this and find happiness. Don't let anyone step on you or take advantage of you. You deserve people in your life who can reciprocate the same amount of love you give. And OP responds, thank you. I keep teetering between anger and fear about my situation. When things go quiet, mostly anger now. But time with stepdaughter is good. She and stepson were the best things about my marriage. So we have an update 12 days later. And I know, guys, I've said over and over again, hey, maybe the divorce is coming. Maybe the divorce is coming. I did read a little. There is at least some court action. That's the one teaser I'm going to give you.
Finally getting some court action.
some
I've been
gabble,
waiting.
Yep, I love court action, especially when someone goes like coast to coast or gets a triple-double during the game. Favorite time to watch basketball.
Riley's giving a little basketball joke for you.
It's going to be a full court press.
Yo, I'm proud of you on that one, John. That was great. That was amazing.
Got him. That's only because my former boss used that one time. He's like, yeah, we need for this marketing thing, we need a full court press. And I was like, we need press? I thought we were doing like social media. He's like, no, we need a full court press. And I was like, what is this about press?
Quick TLDR about a full court press.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, when people play basketball on defense, they guard everyone. There's like a half court mark. They guard everyone behind the half court mark. But whenever the game is like about to end and it's getting really intense and there's a few seconds less and like a steal could make you win if you're losing, they'll do a full court press. So they'll guard everyone above the half court line. So it's like whoa.
And I knew that.
Does that make sense?
That's exactly
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, it's also just
My TLDRs are on fire.
Coach
Full
Riley.
court, all of the court presses forward. I'm assuming. Yeah.
Let's go. Yes. Yes.
It in the name, but you did great.
But before we get into also, I think, the last update of this
man.
episode.
Oh man.
This is a long story, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Sophia, I have something I want you and chat to ponder on for
I'm
a
gonna
second.
ponder.
I'm gonna flip the script on you.
I'm getting
Okay.
into my pondering mode.
OP is in not a great place, was quite frankly not in a great place like coming into the relationship. So OP's had a rough go of it, right? Stepdaughter seems to be her like core source of support and joy and everything else. Could it be that despite the potential complications, and also maybe even OB might be able to skate out with less complications than it seems on the surface, is it maybe actually better for OP's mental health to not like get rid of the person who gives her the love and support that she needs? I'm leaning closer to that. I'm going to be honest with you.
I was pondering so hard.
Your ponder face and fingers were really doing a jig.
Okay. So are you asking to sum up?
Should she keep the stepdaughter?
Okay, that's what I thought. Well, in the time that I took to ponder,
Yeah.
it seems like they've worked out a way for it to not affect OP so much.
Yeah.
But should the divorce proceedings become really messy, then I think maybe no.
So until it really
Yes.
complicates it.
Yes,
Like
I
right
think
now
it's fine.
there isn't any concrete
No.
complications. The parents are out of the way.
Yeah.
I like that idea because honestly, putting myself in OP's shoes, I feel like I would want that support, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
Like
everyone
I want
else
my
in her
daughter
life
there.
sucks,
Yeah.
seemingly. So
Yeah.
her, at least this, like the daughter kind of understands what's going on and who her parents are. And she's the one who caught her parents. So she clearly doesn't have any affection for them right now.
She gets it. She freaking gets it. But let's get into the update 12 days later. We had a court date and the judge ordered mediation and put this off for a few more months.
Oh.
I was
That sucks.
so my prediction is wrong yet again. 3
Dang.
for 3. I was hoping this would be a wrap up. After all, we don't have kids together and I want nothing from the ex. I didn't bring up custody for stepdaughter and stepson, and he didn't either. Okay. All I want is a divorce and to walk away with what I brought in, my house and my car. This seems like it should be the simplest divorce in OK Storytime history.
Yeah.
X isn't fighting for those, but he's still saying that he doesn't want a divorce. What the heck, man? He left me 2 messages asking to talk. I've ignored him. The mediation will be over Zoom, which to me sounds more comfortable than an in-person meeting. Stepdaughter and I are doing well living together. Mom is silent and nothing from stepson so far. Then there's an update.
Ooh-wee. This is really annoying. It's also like, can you do you have to get your other partner to sign the divorce papers before you can get divorced? Because I feel like
I think it might vary.
Yeah, because in all like those movies and television, the TV shows, they're always like, sign the papers, sign the papers.
Yeah,
You put it off for months, just sign the papers.
Yeah.
So like, can you get divorced if one partner doesn't sign the papers?
Curious chat.
Or is it just harder?
Have you heard of any experiences? Maybe producer Riley, you could look up some quips on that, but I'm not sure. Her at Spaghetti, she shouldn't be using the child as emotional support, so that shouldn't be a consideration.
This is true.
John.
This is true.
Are children emotional support? I guess emotional support in the sense of like using it to your emotional support advantage at the detriment potentially of the child in there.
No, children are not emotional support animals.
That's true.
It's actually not what we wanted to look at.
Do both people have to agree to a divorce in the U.S.?
AQ says there is a type without signing, but takes years. Yeah, so Celtic Kit says it's harder if you don't. I made my ex-husband sign, and he did. Went smoothly.
It takes consent of both parties to enter marriage. It only takes the consent of one party to end the marriage.
But I think, yeah, I guess it just must take a lot longer if you don't get both.
Yeah, because it's like
signatures.
with the divorce agreement, they basically say, hey, we're both in on you give this, you get this, you get this. So it's like, all right, boom, boom,
But
boom,
that's
boom,
like
process.
getting served. Like you've been served. That's what that means. Like both parties don't consult to getting a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
You can receive the divorce proceedings, I guess, or like the being taken to court for divorce. That's one way, right?
Yeah. I agree.
Not true as an emotional support animal.
Hey, listen, we're all animals.
At
if
the
you
end
think
of the
about it.
day.
So we have an update 7 weeks later. I am divorced.
Woo! Finally.
Hey, like 3-4 months? That's still quick.
Yeah.
That's still quick.
You did good time.
I
Good time.
did good. Good time, boy. It's me. Papers are signed. The judge has signed off, and it's done. I am so relieved. I was scared that this would drag on for longer. God forbid it would. And then more lasagna would be taken from your
Oh,
fridge.
yeah. They just show up at your house every day.
God. Where's our lasagna?
Yeah. And he's like, I'm divorcing you.
Eat divorce papers. The first mediation meeting was a crap show with ex trying to talk at me that we should go through marriage counseling. The mediator was a very firm woman who kept the conversation in control, though. We had a couple more mediation emails and he agreed to sign off. I was still nervous about how it'd go today, but ex played nice and signed off on everything. A very nice surprise was that he voluntarily gave me our entire joint savings account.
Okay. Well, as he owes, because you've been freaking paying for his kids for 4 years.
Talk about it. Talk for like that's the back nanny pay.
Yeah.
That's
it's
the back
like,
nanny
no,
pay.
you owe me that child support
Yeah.
money, actually. Thank
Honestly,
you.
I was not expecting that. I had asked for half of it, which would be OP's half, though in reality, he has put in more than I did. Maybe not. I retract my previous statement. I'd have been okay with him just taking my portion, but he surprised me by giving me all the money. It was our emergency savings, so not a rich amount, but a nice high 5-figure number. Okay. I am so relieved about it. I'm going to say
80,000.
I was going to say the same thing.
Well, there you have it.
Twinning. I am so relieved about it. Money had become tight with lawyer fees and changes, and this helps. Emotionally, also, it made me feel better about myself. I may be wrong, but my heart wants to read this as his acknowledging that he screwed me over and I deserve something back. This might not be healthy, but I'm just going to say
Whoa.
choose to interpret it that way
Yeah.
because you deserve some feel good.
Truly. That's he said that he screwed her over? Is that what that just said?
Nope.
Oh.
He's interpreting it as that.
Oh, I was like, wow.
Yeah, right. My
Um,
heart wants to read this as him
Yeah.
acknowledging
Okay.
he
Okay.
screwed me
Okay.
over. But he has
Um,
not said, "Oh, I screwed you over," and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I did mishear that. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No, he's still a piece of crap.
I'm going to say in reality, I don't think so, but in your fairy tale land, stay there because
Stay there.
you just deserve some happiness. And we got some comments from Majestic Post 1684. Woohoo! Time to celebrate your new freedom. Best wishes to your future. Opie says, thank you. I am both relieved and scared of being lonely. The period of my life where I was alone after losing my parents was very depressing, and I don't want to fall back into that. Majestic Post responds, staying busy and building a community of friends around me really helped me after my divorce was finalized. I go on dates with friends, volunteer, and I also joined a cooking group. We get together and share dishes once a month. I'm sorry you lost your parents so young, but at this time around, you have your stepdaughter. You also have us, a group of interested strangers who support you and are rooting for you. And guess what, OP? You got 3 more strangers
3 right here.
in your corner. Let's freaking go. Unless Riley.
No, I'm in your corner.
Yeah.
I'll fight.
He's in.
Riley's doing a 3-quart shot.
Close. You can say half court or you can say 3-pointer.
3-quart shot. 3-quart shot.
He's doing a 3-quart shot.
Woo. Opie says.
And that has nothing to do with basketball. I just meant that Riley's taking 3 quarts of shots.
True, because we know he loves doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, Like, okay, sorry. That's a lot for a shot.
It is.
Riley, you're on the job. That's entirely unprofessional.
Hey, you know what? I'll allow it.
Yeah, but it was,
Yay!
celebratory. It was for OP getting divorced.
That's right. Right. Yeah.
Because he's on your side.
That's right. Come on. Good tie back.
It's called improv.
OP, thank you. This is my plan too. Get a group of friends around you. I've joined an adult league for the sport, insert sports, that stepdaughter and I play. I've signed up for group cycling. I might even try some volunteering.
What?
I'm very grateful to the support that I found here. Every time I felt overwhelmed or my resolve has weakened, I've pulled up and reread all the messages. Guys, I am a filthy, dirty liar, even more so than Riley, like we'll figure out at the end of the episode. Don't think I forgot about that. Don't think I forgot about that. Because we have an update that is 3 months later.
Whoa.
From this point.
And everyone knows that OP's going to be freaking killing it on niche sport. And
It's definitely beach volleyball. Let's be for real.
I thought that too.
Dude.
well, I'm thinking of
What?
like what could have an adult league that like, people play. I'm thinking tennis.
It's
thinking
not niche,
beach
though.
volleyball. Well, beach volleyball's not that niche.
Yes, it is.
I think it's beach volleyball.
Pickleball?
Or at least
Not
volleyball
pickleball.
at a minimum.
Volleyball at a minimum.
Paddle.
Basketball's not niche. Handball is niche. Volleyball's
could be
not niche.
Rowing. Join an adult rowing club.
I mean, there's
I don't know
adult
about
clubs
that.
for
Rowing's
everything.
super hard. Yeah, I was thinking about joining a rowing club at college, and my RA was on the rowing team, and she took me to the gym once, and I've never been in that much pain.
But now you're buff from
And now
climbing
I'm
Mount
buff.
Everest.
Yeah,
You can climb Mount Everest with this finger.
just with one finger.
So take that, freaking
So take that,
rowers.
my RA. She was lovely.
You weak people. So let's get into this update 3 months later. Okay, not really an update, more just like event. I can write things down here that I can't talk about in real life. I am making a big show of being happy and social and carefree to people in real life, but honestly, I am so dang miserable
No,
and sad.
I thought this was like on the up and up.
No.
Oh.
The first couple of months, I soldiered on out of pure spite and determination to remake myself, but it's devolving back into sadness. I've been avoiding hearing anything about ex or mother, but stepdaughter has been having some issues, and she vented to me about how she's mad at her parents. Mom mostly. Ex and mom didn't last long. They were having fights and issues well before my divorce finalized. They got a second divorce on top of the divorce that
It's called
he
the
was
double
already-
divorce, and if you get 3, you get 3 wishes.
Oh, good old double D for the 3 wishes. Mom immediately started dating someone else, and from what I hear, she's happy in this current relationship and is so into it that she hasn't even met either of her kids in the past 2
Oh
months.
my God. Where are these kids?
Only video calls. They're God knows where. X had to juggle a lot of things to adjust his work schedule and get dependable childcare for stepson. He's dating too now, a much younger woman.
Yeah, and she has a lot of like childcare experience. She's also CPR certified. She's a really nice house.
Yeah, really nice house that she owns.
Yeah,
And
it's
she
really
makes
very coincidental.
Great lasagna.
Mm-hmm.
If you catch our drift. Ex and mom used to co-parent well, but I guess I was the one really doing that because right now they hate each other and hardly ever talk. Go figure. One would think that would make me happy seeing them fall apart from each other, but it's only making me more angry. My life was ruined. The kid, yeah, it's the classic question. Do you want the cheater and affair partner to like break up? Because then it's like, well, that was like all for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, the kid's happy home was destroyed, and for what? I miss my old life so much, and a lot of it was a lie, but I was just so happy and full of purpose then. I am just feeling so lost right now. I've tried dating and have been on a lot of dates, but they have all been bad or wrong. People around me have been setting me up with divorced dads, and no offense to them, but I can't do that again. I don't blame you. I actually had one date which felt more like an interview for a nanny role.
No, not again.
Run!
You can't keep doing this.
It made me so depressed. Stepdaughter is doing great though, and that brings me a lot of joy. I'm a little bit scared of the time soon when she will move out. It'll make it just me in this big house. I've talked to stepson on the phone a couple of times. That boy has grown up and changed so much. It feels like we were separated for years. He's going to come over for a sleepover during the Halloween weekend, and I'm pretty excited about that. Hooray. Stepdaughter was going to babysit him at X's place while he travels, but I okayed having him with us since it's Halloween. And then we do have
Man.
some relevant comments as well.
Man.
But how do you feel about that?
I'm just thinking, I think OP might, not that she is getting back into the dating scene too soon, but I think that she is expecting things to just kind of be over this 4-year relationship where she was clearly so attached to the point where she thinks of these kids as her own.
Only like maybe 6 months out.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, give it some time.
Give us some time.
Don't worry about it. Don't push yourself. Things will come.
Date yourself.
Date yourself.
Okay? Because you're a hot commodity.
You're a catch.
You're a freaking catch. But we got some other comments too from Corfiz74. Dang, I had hoped things would look up for you after the divorce went through. Your ex and his ex are supremely trash people, and the fact that they are just moving on from you and each other shows you just how utterly shallow they are. Which also proves that you're now mourning the man you thought he was, not the man he actually was. That is a good distinction. I hope after your grieving period is over, you'll meet a really nice, non-shallow guy who is not just looking for a nanny.
Yeah. Or you lean into the nannying. So like right now you're looking for a man that you can date.
Yep.
You should be looking for a man who needs a nanny. Pull a little The Nanny show,
Fran Drescher.
Fran, yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, become Fran. Find a really nice, hot English dad. Become kind of a parental figure to his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly get him to fall in love with you.
I like it because we get paid all the way up until, and then
you get married.
Then you get married, and then you share the assets. So you're up.
And then you're rich.
This is great. This is a great plan.
Also, great show.
Great show.
Love that show.
That is a show I actually have seen.
I love that.
You know,
I would always go over to because we didn't have cable, so I would go over to my friend's house, and I would always put on The Nanny.
That is adorable.
Because it would be playing on some cable channel or whatever.
She was a star.
Yeah, she was.
Fran
great.
was.
She was great.
What an icon. Fran Drescher, if you're hearing this, come on the show.
Come on the show.
We got a spot for you right here.
If you're hearing this, I don't know, marry me. I don't know.
All right. Well, there you go. So, hope he responds. Sorry for the late response. I was in a depressed state and avoiding things for a while. I am much better now. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, I think I never really knew my ex. The side he showed me was pretty sweet though, and I do miss that. My relationship with stepdaughter is the brightest point in my life. We have brought a lot of happiness for each other. By the way, if you want an endless supply of happiness for your freaking face holes, aka your ears, go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, go wherever you listen to podcasts, type in OK Storytime. We literally have, I thought it was 1900 episodes, but I just learned today we're not labeling some of our live stream podcast episodes with numbers. Therefore, there's probably 2,000, 2,100 episodes for you guys in there. Crazy, right? So go do that.
How do we do it?
How do we do it? I already told him.
How do we do it?
I was thinking about that. I was like, each person probably has at least 5 Reddit stories in them, and then you just do the numbers.
I didn't even know that there was this many stories on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one right now I'm writing, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty juicy.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, your story?
That I'm writing, yeah. I was like, oh, wow, actually, this was kind of crazy.
That's what you're doing on the laptop.
Yeah.
I was like, what is he working on over there? Oh my God, I love that.
Away.
But we have the true actual last final update, which is 2 years later, which I'm about to dive into to close us out.
2 years later?
2 years later, my friend. So this could be short but very sweet. But Sophia, just check in with me.
I'm checking in.
How are we feeling at this almost end of the episode here?
Well, I think that OP feels kind of at the lowest point right now. And yet she is progressing and she is improving, even if she can't see that.
That that should be celebrated, and she should celebrate herself for that. That, you know what? We saw what a people pleaser she was, but once she saw the stuff, she stood up for herself, got the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
She put her foot down and got the parents out of her life to stop abusing and running over her boundaries with a bulldozer.
She got the bag from the bank.
She got the bag.
Yeah.
She got the bag. I think OP has really, really grown a lot, and her newfound confidence and boundary setting is really going to help her.
Yeah. I think it's hard to see the positives when you are sad, but just knowing that they're there, they exist.
Guys, give it up for Sophia freaking Donner.
Stop.
I told you, better than any psychiatrist, more certified than anyone you could freaking think of.
And free.
And free. Okay? TikTok dance. I'm
Ooh,
cool.
is
I'm
that-
Gen Z. We're not going to discuss it any further. Update. 2 years later, we're
Woo!
getting into it. I don't know if anybody will see this update. We are. After all of this time, but I had left this as a sad note a couple of years ago, and that doesn't feel right. I had stepped away from Reddit because I was getting quite a bit of negative messages. Some people making fun of me and calling me names. Most of you have been so amazing and helpful, but a few mean messages still got to me. My life has been good since then. I had stopped dating and gave up online apps.
Nice.
I like this. I did well with making a few friends and staying busy with having an active life, a good career, hobbies. Eventually, I met my current partner on a hiking
Yes.
trip.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Sometimes when you stop actively dating, it's better. They just like kind of like come, and you're like, oh, they come over, they
They what?
They what? They do what?
Time
come into your
out.
life. They come into your life.
Is that her name? Anyways, clip it. Oh, actually,
What?
Riley, if you could get this from Leanne, I believe we do now have a form for you guys to submit clips to the show. Riley's gonna add it. Poster, if you could add it in the episode on YouTube as well. But we guys want you to tell us clips, moments, like literally what just happened. We should have a funny edit for that and be hilarious. So anyways, back to the story. My daughter has been a constant ray of sunshine. Also, this is the first time she said my daughter instead
That's
of
so
stepdaughter.
cute.
All right.
I love that.
My daughter has been a constant ray of sunshine in my life, and we are very close. She introduces me to people as her adopted mom, lol, and I don't refer to her as Step. She is doing great at college. She's growing into an awesome person, and my home is her home when she visits from school.
This is lovely.
Right? Things are a bit more complicated with my former stepson. We went from daughter to former stepson. We are two different realms.
Dang.
He has been upfront that he doesn't want me as a parental figure in his life and is not interested in being close with me. I respect that. I will stay in touch with him, but as a distant friend, we exchange jokes, and sometimes the three of us get together for dinner. He is in therapy for depression and anger issues, so I don't want to let go of him completely. Regarding the guy I'm with now, this is by far the best, most romantic relationship of my life, and I am very happy. I am now pregnant.
Ooh.
What?
What was the time jump?
Dude, 2 years?
She knew what she wanted, man.
Damn.
This is 2 years. This is 2 years.
Wow.
They freaking went on a hike and they,
Well, second trimester, like 5-6 months?
yeah, around, yeah.
5-6 months, like 2/3 of the way through.
Dang.
Wow, and we are both excited. Well, I guess like more like 9 months if you're me, but
y'all
you know.
you started dating like a year ago?
This is crazy.
Ooh.
That's kind of quick, but we'll see. The pregnancy was unexpected,
Okay, yeah.
but I'm thrilled about it. I was trying so hard to get pregnant in my previous marriage and all that. Trying medical interventions didn't help. And now I am pregnant despite protection. Okay.
Oh, dang.
Oh, God.
Yikes.
Cut to Sophia's clip from earlier. Rewind.
Yikes.
The relationship is still new, and I am treading carefully. One of the best parts is that his family is amazing. His parents are very sweet and accepting people who already treat my daughter as their grandchild and are very excited about the baby. What a mess of, here's the unplanned baby and the stepdaughter who isn't
stepdaughter,
adopted, not
daughter.
crazy. But we got some final comments here. Silly Dizzy Dazzle says, I am so happy for you, OP, and I know you had so many rough years. Thankfully, you have your daughter. You have brought her into your life so that way she's always has a parent that chooses her and her best interests first. I know you want this for your son, and he will come around. Please continue to give time while still showing you love, and always will. With his therapist, he can come to the mature decision that his bio parents are selfish and self-absorbed. If his therapist is literally worth anything, he will be able to see this with the therapist.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
It's pretty freaking obvious.
pretty obvious.
You have so much love, kindness, compassion, and empathy. Your little baby is going to be welcomed into a wonderful family with you as the best mom. You've been momming for years and are wonderful at it. Congrats on your new partner who knows how marvelous you are and treats you as an equal partner. This was happy to read as a positive update. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Enjoy all the happiness and making more positive memories shared with your loved ones. Very happy for you all. To which OP responds, I am so happy these days, but also nervous about the pregnancy and a smidge scared. Then I also think that things didn't go how I had planned them, but they worked out all right. I remember being scared of becoming stepmom, but those kids turned out to be the best thing, and they made me mom for life. I worry about my son. He is so cynical and unhappy for someone so young. Whether I'm in his life or not, I want him to find peace and be happy. And that's the conclusion there.
And that's the
That was
conclusion.
amazing.
We thought we were just going to get left in the freaking dumpy, but we got the happy ending. And you know what? All in all, I feel good. I feel good about the
too.
story
Me
and
too.
the moves made and everything.
Yeah.
I think it ended on a good note.
It did.
She was in a tight situation, but like really got herself out of it.
Yeah.
Like in best case scenario.
Yeah, truly. It was complicated, but here we are.
She made
at
it
the
work.
end of the day.
And I kind of
Ain't life complicated, John?
ain't life
Ain't that
complicated.
just life?
And I also kind of doubled down on the decision to keep the stepdaughter around. I really think it worked out for the best for everyone.
And I think that's what OP wanted. I mean, clearly that's what OP wanted.
Yeah. And I feel like you can have emotional support from a child, particularly a adolescent, almost adult child, as long as there's no advantage being taken care of or anything like that. But I'm going to take advantage of this moment to
Ooh,
spill the tea
spill that tea.
with an OK story time from
Oh my gosh.
Riley Wilson. So Sophia, let me paint a picture, right?
Paint that picture.
I'm here. I'm reading a story. It's an 8-hour stream last night. We go
Mhm.
till midnight, right? We're going crazy.
Yeah,
People
I
are
recall.
done. It's just a grand
You guys
old
are
time.
dying.
It's a grand old time. I'm reading a story. Lo and behold, the writer of the story is like, also, I'm from my hometown, and I am actually good friends with John's old band teacher, and John's band teacher told me to submit the story. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm like, oh, what? My band teacher? What's going on here? I'm so excited. I'm like, hey, band teacher, like, reconnect with me. Find my Instagram, message me. I would love to, like, reconnect, you know? Riley's dying. And I'm like, wow, he's really finding this sweet moment, just, like, so hilarious. Like what's going on here? It was fake.
But
It's
you
all
didn't
fake.
and then later the writer was like, but John is like really narcissistic and he's kind of selfish and he needs to stop listening to Kanye.
So I was trailing off and I didn't understand that last sentence when I started making my plea for my band teacher I thought that was just a joke or something. I don't know. I really believed it. April B says Riley got John so good last night. One thing I have to admit, it was a fantastic prank in pure objective execution. It truly was actually incredible, and we should do it to everyone.
Yeah.
It was actually great.
Easily done.
It was
Easily
great.
done.
It was great. Even me, I bet, you know what? I'm going to even bet myself that Riley could get me a second time,
I probably could.
even though I will be aware. But
John, I don't know, man. You're pretty gullible.
wait,
I
like-
love you.
I am pretty
A
gullible.
week.
You are pretty gullible.
You're right.
Mice window? What is that?
Yeah, that's for another OK story time. But if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you and
And
see you tomorrow.